So I'm Kimberly Cruther. I'm the Executive Director of the Dairy Companies Association of New Zealand, and I'm joined by my colleague Paul Goldstone, who is our Policy Manager. DCANZ represents New Zealand dairy processors and exporters. We are submitting in support of the Genetic Technology Bill and recommend that it be passed with amendment. Dairy is New Zealand's biggest export industry, responsible for approximately 35% of all goods exported in the year to December 2024. That was $24.5 billion. Despite being far from markets, New Zealand has built a competitive dairy industry that has been supported by embracing innovation. The potential benefits of genetic technology include lowering greenhouse gas emissions through more precise livestock traits, or better productivity due to better feeding of animals, or improved microbial characteristics for dairy production. Allowing gene technologies in New Zealand also improves New Zealand's scientific capability. However, our exporting success is also underpinned by our ability to provide our global customers with robust assurances regarding the inputs that are in our supply chains.
Can you hear
New Zealand
me?
dairy products are exported to well over 100 million markets globally, 120 markets globally, and thousands of dairy customers are involved in that trade. The diverse trade is a strength for our industry. It helps us navigate trade disruptions. But it also necessitates working with customers to meet a diverse set of requirements for the markets in which those dairy products are being consumed. DCANZ members have concerns that the bill in its current form will not easily allow them to meet customer requirements for traceability and assurance of the biotech status of inputs in their dairy supply chains. We do not consider that the benefits of gene technology need to be mutually exclusive of our ability to provide trade assurances and enjoy the opportunities from achieving those customer and market assurances. Both can be enabled with 3 amendments to the bill, which Paul's going to outline for you.
We recommend 3 specific amendments to the bill, noting our general support that the bill be passed. The first is clause 11. The current bill, the regulator, is limited to considering factors of human health and the environment as relevant risks. We propose a 3rd factor be added to clause 11, which is market access and trade. This would allow the regulator, for example, to place controls on requirements for products to be registered for traceability purposes to allow for market access, which worryingly cannot be done
any movement at all, Sam. I'm not sure if anybody on the show.
We're having a perfect stream and we're hearing you perfectly coming through.
I haven't heard anything at all since we the beginning where you talked about the Dairy Company Association and Paul Goldsmith.
It was Paul Goldstone, but yes, okay. Yeah, just give it a reboot and see if because there's the screen back to how we were before, with you on one side, me on the other.
You're static. You're still in the middle with the live and the ballot and the tick. So I haven't got. I've got me on the left there.
Yep, that should be right. Yeah, and then when we switch to this one, does that bring the submission?
No, there's been nothing else on screen apart from the still shot of you.
Oh,
sorry.
Give it a refresh and see what happens.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, people.
It's all good. We'll continue listening.
That an amendment for market access and trade to be added to clause 11 is consistent with the advice of MFAT officials. Second, we recommend amendment to clause 15, conditions that may be imposed, and to add the condition in clause 15, requirements and practices to enable product identification, verification, and tracing. This is because the current list of conditions in the bill that may be imposed on a gene technology license do not explicitly allow for supply chain traceability for markets and customers. The importance of maintaining high levels of traceability within food systems was underscored by the 2013 whey protein concentrate scare. The ministerial inquiry into that scare emphasised the critical importance of effective full supply chain traceability. Not including traceability as a condition in this bill is a significant oversight that must be addressed. And third, we recommend that clause 163 to being able to exempt certain so-called minimal risk gene technologies from the regulatory process be significantly amended. This clause at the moment effectively could allow gene technologies, notably gene editing techniques, or SDN1, to enter into New Zealand completely exempted from the regulatory process. It would be very difficult for the dairy industry to provide markets or customers with effective traceability and assurances that there is no gene technology in the product if gene technologies are exempt from any regulatory oversight at all. For this reason, we recommend various technical amendments to Clause 163. Most significantly, we recommend that Clause 163 include clarification that a permitted organism must still be registered by the regulator and conditions can be imposed to ensure disclosure as a condition of sale and traceability. Thank you. We are available for any questions.
Can you please say that last bit again? For 163, you recommend that?
163, we recommend, if you read our full submission, we have a table at the back that lists the different technical changes we want. The major one would be that an exempted, or we would prefer to use the term permitted, organism must still at least be registered by the regulator and potentially have conditions placed upon that.
Thank you. Steve, Deborah, Asha.
Thank you very much for your very clear substantive submission on this. You say in point 110 that the value of New Zealand's current GM-free is mostly because it allows New Zealand exporters to easily meet market and customer requirements, and that you're concerned that the proposed liberalisation pathway does not enable management and minimisation of market risks. In terms of your support, wouldn't you want to be certain there was a big, significant benefit to forfeiting that GM-free status rather than, as Peter Gluckman calls it, speculative possibility of GM benefits?
So we wouldn't necessarily characterise it as the benefit of the GM status. The current GM status means that it is easy to provide the assurances and answer the customer requests as to the status of inputs across the supply chain. So it's an assurance issue. Now that benefit of meeting assurance requirements can be maintained and coexistence can be managed so long as there is traceability and the provisions that for amendment that we have outlined.
Have a supplement, please.
I've got two quick subs. Go quick, and then I've got Hamish and Mark.
Do you envisage a time in the near future when New Zealand dairy products, butter or cheese or infant formula, would be marketed as GM grass-fed?
As GM grass-fed?
Fed on GM grass.
So I can't imagine, well, we do market as fed on grass, but GM grass-fed on the front of a label, no, I'm not aware of any market developments that would move towards that. As I say, the assurances are often sitting in the background. It will be organics customers requiring certain assurances, companies who are purchasing products who want to be confident that the way that they are labelling in their market is consistent with the requirements of their market, or that they've done their regulatory due diligence, who will be wanting the traceability.
I'll move on given our time constraints.
Thank you. Just supplementing on that question and market access. Australia, and you mentioned here in your submission 4.14 that Australia liberalised their gene editing rules in 2019. What effect did that have on their dairy prices?
On the
Dairy prices.
Oh, yes. So one of your concerns is traceability and the price we get for our dairy. Australia in 2019 has gone through its process. What effect did it have on their dairy prices?
Our concern is the ability to meet our global customers' assurances. And as I said, 120 different markets, thousands of customers. We have a very different exporting profile from the Australian dairy industry. So I'm not sure that that would necessarily be a valid comparison to be drawn.
We've got to Mark quickly. I'm sorry, Mark.
Thanks for the submission. I think you raised a number of technical points. Just actually some supplementary on that same theme. This is one of the problems we've got, is that what's risk reward we're trading off here in terms of value, and
I'll just say we're at time, so let's just move to
so your company's the ones out there facing the world. So what is the premium? Like, give us something.
Often it's not a premium. There is a premium for organic product that is a niche product. Elsewhere, it will be a requirement to be able to provide assurances as to what's in your supply chain. If you want to be exporting to certain markets, you need to be able to provide your customers with confidence that the product you're supplying meets their domestic requirements. As we've outlined, there would be a barrier to doing that if there isn't visibility of what the status of products within the supply chain. So we're saying it's not here, it's the ability to trade, it's not the GM status, it is actually the ability to continue to manage the assurances for the products you're supplying, which may be of a range of different GM status in the future.
Thank you. That's quite clear there. Thank you. Hey, unfortunately, we're at time, and I know.
Now, did you catch, once you rebooted, did you catch much of what was said there, Marty?
Yes, about the confidence of supply. Yes. As opposed to the fear of contamination. So we have it. I mean, we have to give assurances, or organic certainly has to give assurances that they are not able to be contaminated by wind, by rain, by any means that their product is going to be contaminated. It's the same there's a more exacting market overseas, as we've been seen as has been shown by shipments that have been rejected by the markets, because although they were supposedly assured as contaminant free or GM free, there have been contaminants found in it, and whole shipments have been rejected. I don't know the exact cases, but
I remember one a number of years back with it was in China with dairy solids. But
Yes.
this is going back. I remember it, but I remember the minister was Nathan Guy at the time.
yeah, there was also a shipment of yeast. I think that went to Japan early in the piece. Once again, that was contaminated, and the whole shipment was rejected.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook